What a race. The 2025 Bahrain Grand Prix gave us controversy, it gave us chaos and a commanding win from one of McLaren's top stars, although it might not be who you would expect it to be. Let's break it down very quickly. Oscar Piastri absolutely nailed it from the lights on the checkered flag. The McLaren driver led the majority of the laps during the race and secured a flawless win for McLaren, his second of the season, and McLaren's first ever victory in Bahrain, which is almost like their second home race, given that they have a lot of investors from the Bahrain royalty. A mid-race safety car wiped out Piastri's 7-second lead, but he was still able to carry on being consistent with fresh mediums. He dropped the hammer and pulled away from the field, like it was just leisurely drive really from him. It was always going to be a Piastri P1 win from what we saw in the race. Behind him, there was a battle for second between George Russell's Mercedes and Lando Norris in the McLaren, who came back from qualifying 6th to end up finishing 3rd. Despite Russell having some DRS issues and having a post-race investigation, there was no penalty, but Norris did have a 5-second penalty at the beginning of the race for being out of position in his box. But he still managed to get past Leclerc and finish P3, but McLaren did miss out on that 1-2 that I'm sure they would have much preferred for the championships, to try and get as many early points in as they possibly can. But the race result has kind of blown the championship out to a degree. Piastri is now really caught up with Norris. Verstappen is still there slightly, just underneath. So I think it's really hotting up to be a real good race. Although, let's talk about Red Bull. So Red Bull had a really rough day. They struggled with the pit stops. It meant Max Verstappen finished 6th, which still doesn't sound that bad, but for Verstappen's kind of quality and what we're used to, it's not the greatest. Tsunoda also picked up some points for Red Bull, which is good, but they were very much towards the back of the pack. They weren't showing as much pace as the likes of Mercedes and Ferrari, and of course McLaren out in front. Moving on, special shout out to Ollie Behrman. He qualified, I think it was P20, and ended up finishing in the points, which is insane. Really good race for him, and as well for Ocon again for Haas, earning some points. So to wrap up, as a very quick mop up of the race, Oscar Piastri now has 2 wins this season and is just 3 points off Norris in the championship standings. It's very much looking like it's going to be McLaren's year in terms of the constructor title. However, the drivers' championship, I think it's going to be a real close-knit battle between Piastri and Norris, and I think Verstappen is still going to be around there. We'll see how things go this weekend in Saudi Arabia and see how kind of the Red Bull performs, whether they can get back to the front. But I think for now it's going to be a Piastri and Norris 1-2. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the race. I'll have a predictions video coming out at the end of this week for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more F1 action. Thank you very much.